Hey, Craig, turn on your camera.
Yeah, Craig, show us your face, bitch.
Face reveal.
What if like the camera actually turns on and there's a face?
That's going to be in my
scary.
nightmares now. I'm going to have an actual nightmare.
You're welcome. Hello, cinephiles, and welcome to Silver Screen Sips, a podcast where three idiots talk about movies and establish ourselves as the biggest fangirl club for Pedro Pascal and Ewan McGregor.
Yes.
Daddy is fuck.
Lewis, go ahead and say your name.
Oh, right. My name's
Even
Big
though
Lou.
I just said it.
I'm your host, Big Lou. Here are my friends.
The other two.
The other two.
The other ones.
You always forget the cue. That is your line.
Well, because I always think Isaiah's going to talk first, and then he doesn't. So then
it's ladies first. There. It's always been ladies first.
That's why it should be you.
That's why it should be me.
That's why you do the intro.
Oh my god!
Don't you?
Anyways,
hi, I'm Isaiah.
That's Isaiah. I am Bethany, and today we're going to be talking about Episode 7 of Star Wars. Can you tell how excited we are?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about The Force Awakens. So, got to let you guys know ahead of time, if you're new here, there will be spoilers ahead for movies and TV shows, so you can keep watching. But no, you've been warned, so don't come at us if you get anything spoiled and you're upset. Kitty!
Also, the entirety of this franchise has been out for like, what? The last movie was in like 2014.
They're like, what? Darth Vader's his father? Also, real quick, just a couple little announcements. As you know, we're trying to get to 100 followers across all of our platforms so Lewis can get his tattoo on his chest. We have 2 more weeks, right? Because we're on 7. No, 3 more weeks because 10 episodes. We have 3 more weeks to get this done. We are so close. So just share with your friends and family. We're on pretty much any platform you can think of now. We're on iTunes now, officially. Woohoo! I did it. We all have our drinks, right? Everyone's got their drinks with them. Yay! Taco Bell. Oh, big whoa! This man is pouring. What is that?
Yours.
Into Coke?
Pepsi.
Blech. Isaiah, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Bailey straight in ice. On the rocks.
On the rocks. There you go. That sounds fancy.
Bailey's on the rocks.
I'm having an old fashioned with about 15 cherries in it. So
fruity.
Anyways, Lewis, why don't you start us off with our themed drink of the day?
All right. So since we obviously love episode 7 being the best episode in the entire franchise.
Hell yeah.
Our drink today is known as the Force Awakens.
Okay. Clever. Is it better than the movie?
Maybe.
I hope.
Probably. Most likely. What could melt the slick, seemingly frosty demeanor of a stoic stormtrooper in Star Wars? That feels like a fucking tongue twister right there.
Yeah, I don't even know what you just said.
Well, for starters, Ryan Morris, the general manager of Venkman's in Atlanta, woo, go Atlanta, thinks one must start with rum. Sometimes, when the weather calls in the balmy south, he likes to run this tropically tweaked tipple through his on-premises slushy machine.
What's that word? Sorry, what did you say? Tipple?
Tipple.
Tipple.
Tipple. Like nipple, but with a T.
Tipple. Okay.
But you can shake it up, too. This recipe originally appeared as part of Celebrate the Release of Star Wars, The Last Jedi, with these great Star Wars cocktail recipes. The ingredients include 1.5 ounces of Bayou Rum, 2 ounces of coconut milk, and 2 ounces of pineapple juice, and 2 ounces of fresh orange. Now, I understand the mix of orange and pineapple juice. That's usually actually pretty good. Blend of coconut milk with these other ingredients sounds really strange.
Oh, it's coconut milk. It's not coconut water.
No, it's coconut milk.
That's even worse. I thought you said coconut water the first time. Coconut milk?
No.
Ew, that's like
milk.
That sounds like milk and orange juice.
That's why I said it looks like a glass of milk with ice.
That's so gross. That's disgusting.
Out of the 7 episodes that we've recorded, we can all agree this is probably the worst drink that I've talked about.
This is definitely the worst drink.
I do apologize the Mr. Morris of Venkman's in Atlanta.
Ryan, you're a disappointment.
Jesus Christ. And honestly, I'm gonna have to say the movie is better than the drink,
Yeah,
and that's saying something.
and that's saying a lot.
We're gonna end on quite a note.
Isaiah, your rating?
No, it's probably going to be a 1 out of 5. I don't like pineapple juice. I cannot stand coconut. And I'm indifferent to orange juice, depending on what it is in. And coconut and pineapple ain't looking good. So I do not think I would like this drink.
I don't know how you don't like
This
all
man is the pickiest man alive.
I
Yeah,
am
straight
very
up.
picky. I will give that. Yes, I'm a very picky
Straight up.
eater. I'm a very picky drinker.
Whenever him and I get food, he always orders like chicken tenders and fries.
Chicken tenders, baby.
Or like a plain cheeseburger.
Oof.
Oof. I will give it. Can I give it a 0 out of 5?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a 0 out of 5. I would never ever drink that. That's the consistency is probably disgusting because it's probably like thick like milk. I think the consistency on top of the flavor would just not be good. I get what they were trying to go for, but at the same time, I don't get how it's themed at all. I would have done something a little more like deserty, maybe themed, because 7 is a lot about whatever planet she's from. Jakku, is that what it is?
Yes.
Jack and
So
Dax.
something, yeah, like Jack Daniels would have been great.
Not what I said, but okay.
No, but I'm saying Jack Daniels would have been a great drink, and then you put something on the rim that's like brown, so it's oh my god, Ryan, if you want to make a better drink, hit me up.
The alcoholics have something to say.
Says the girl who has the least mixology experience out of the three of us.
I don't know about you, but I made an old fashioned. Okay, you're the one pouring rum or whatever into a Pepsi.
Into a Pepsi.
It is a blended scotch.
Okay, my
He's got a
bad.
point. It is
And
a
I was
cocktail.
doing it like a true alcoholic, okay? Anyway, my rating is going to be a 0.5. I'd give it a taste test just for the sake of saying I tried it. But
Okay, that's fair.
that is not the move, Dad. That is not the move.
It is
Who's
not the move.
Dad?
Dad.
I thought you were talking about Pedro Pascal again.
I am.
Good. All right. Well, that was a quick one.
Pedro Pascal, I would like to hear your rating on this thing.
Pedro Pascal, I'd love to have a drink with you, sir.
Oh my god,
I saw a tweet.
Pedro! If you somehow listen to this,
We
I
love
would
you.
love to be on the set of The Last of Us. I could be a really good dead person. So just let me know if there's a position open. Okay.
And let me know if there's a position open in your heart. All right. So, Beth's controversial question of the day.
Yeah, we
Yes,
heard
I have a good question today because I'm curious as to your opinion on this because it's a little spicy. It's a little controversial. Okay. So my question is, do you think
I would just like to add right before that you guys nobody can see this, but we have video cameras on right now. And as she's saying this question, she's leaning back and putting her fingers together as if she's like an evil overlord about to ask like for someone's kidney before she murders them.
Yeah. We decided to put our cameras on today because I wanted to see their beautiful faces and see it was worth it. I told you guys.
Okay, continue with the question. Just have that in your mind though as you're
Just
listening.
think of Dr. Evil turning around in his chair.
$1 million.
So my question is, do you think there is such a thing as a woman's film or like a chick flick or a man's film? And if so, how do they differ? He's Googling chick flicks right now. I can see him.
Lou, you want to go first while I do some research real quick?
I can't say that there is a man's film. There is no such thing as a man's film unless you want to just say that like stupid action movies with pure explosions like The Expendables
John
and
Wayne.
You mean John Wick?
Wayne.
John Wick. Fuck.
Wow.
John Wick is a classic. All right, so let's show some respect to Keanu Reeves. I wouldn't say that there is such a thing as a man's film unless you're going to characterize things like The Expendables, Transformers, and other like building off explosions and fighting and shooting and all that crap. Then that's what you would call a man's film.
Yeah, I think that's what they're kind of that's what I'm kind of going for. Is like a man's films usually like dumb action movies, like Fast and Furious kind of a thing. Yeah.
Hey.
Chick flicks. The Notebook.
You gotta put it out there. Just gotta say it.
What's wrong with the Notebook?
Nothing's wrong with the Notebook.
Oh, you're saying that's the only exception.
That's the only thing I can think of that immediately. Like if I hear someone say chick flick, my first thought is the Notebook.
I got you. You ready? Here's some chick flicks. Mean Girls.
I don't call that's not a chick flick.
Mean
to me.
Girls.
That's not what
Yeah,
that's not the theme I'm thinking of when you say chick flick.
Okay, so Notebook, Titanic. Would we count that?
No.
Okay.
Leonardo DiCaprio is fantastic. Okay.
So what I'm hearing is there's not really chick flicks other than
no. So like it has to,
Notebook is the only chick flick.
Like Titanic doesn't follow that same theme. They just happen to be two fucking morons on a boat, and then Rose lets them die at the end. So fuck
and then
her.
Rose is like, look at my boobs.
Rose is like, look at my boobs, paint them, fuck me, and then I'm gonna let you die. When there was clearly space on the
door.
Before we have this argument, I would like to let the audience know that Mythbusters did go and test it, and it turns out, yes, they could have survived. Yes,
they could have fit. Oh,
survived.
Even Kate Blanchett agrees. Wait, what's her name? It's not Kate
Winslet.
Kate Winslet.
Kate Blanchett.
One of them.
Kate Blanchett in the Titanic.
Anyway, moving on. The only thing I can think of is movies that would fit the same theme as The Notebook, because that was purely about them as a couple, and is one of those movies that tends to make a lot of girls or a lot of other people cry.
So you're thinking like romance movies then, more than
excessive romance.
Let me go. I just found 17.com. Oh, this is the one Isaiah's looking at.
Yeah.
This is 61 all-time best chick flick, perfect for girls' night. So we have.
I did not agree with any of these, to be honest with you. First movie's Booksmart. Don't agree. Booksmart is like this generation's version of oh my god, what's the movie with McLovin? Superbad. Yeah, I agree with that. Ocean's 8 is a heist film. Not a good heist film.
Like
Ocean's 8 is terrible.
Yeah, Bride Wars. Maybe, I don't know. It kind of seems
Bride
more
Wars,
like
yes. No, Bride Wars, yes.
Tiffany's. Breakfast
at Tiffany's. Breakfast at
Tiffany's. That's not a chick flick. That's a classic.
It's a classic. Okay. Hustlers, not a chick flick either. That's made for everybody.
What about like 17 Candles?
17 Candles is just a classic.
Okay, what about fuck, I just had it in my head. Legally Blonde?
Not a chick flick. That's a comedy.
Yeah.
Are you saying chick flicks can't be funny, Isaiah?
No.
Okay, so with the theme that we have for the idea of what the word chick flick describes, we're not thinking comedy. We're thinking of romances, like.
Well, you guys think romance, okay?
The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants is definitely a chick.
That's what I was just about to bring up. Was another one that and Devil Wears Prada.
Is it? I've never seen Devil Wears Prada.
That's a good one. Emily Blunt, love you, girl.
I think if you boil it down, the idea of a chick flick is based on like a extreme stereotype of what you think a woman is and like what she is into. Yeah, like, oh my god, a woman wants about pretty colors and a man and clothes and a person who can support her, and she needs to find that in the most convoluted and insane way possible, which is kind of is like what The Notebook is like the guy hangs himself from a freaking what do you call it, like 30 feet in the air from a Ferris wheel while she's on a date to get her to go on a date with him. Like it's unrealistic, it is insane, and that's where I think that idea comes. That's why we think of the chick flick as we go straight to The Notebook.
You guys have never done that?
What? Hang myself
from a Ferris wheel?
I've done it every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Did you hang from a Ferris wheel?
No. Dear God, no.
I was like, that's impressive. What the fuck? 2 movies to throw in here. Dirty Dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Love Actually. What do we think?
Love Actually. Oh, yeah.
Love Actually. Maybe.
That's definitely a chick flick.
Dirty Dancing on the fence?
Mamma Mia. That's a chick flick.
No, that's a musical.
Shut up. That is a fucking chick flick.
I would say it's like on the.
I say you can have more than one genre.
Okay, I would no. Hold on.
Let me finish my example.
Okay, calm down.
Needed here.
Calm down. I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree with Beth, but I'm gonna put it low on the list for like borderline.
Now, what I'm trying to say, but like, okay, what I consider chick flick would be all those items, but you have to also do the reverse, where a man, like if you think of a man in the ultimate stereotype, as in I'm a Chad, I show no emotions, I like dumb stuff like explosions, and I don't want to think when I go to a movie, like those kind of things. Therefore, that stereotype of a man, would not want to see the stereotypical chick flick that we've attached to the stereotypical women. So when I think of a chick flick, I got to think, will a Chad guy, will like a Chad, like a dude bro, will he find that funny or entertaining in any way?
Oh, I have an idea. I have in front of me a tier list.
Oh, no.
with like a handful of chick flicks, quote unquote chick flicks. And I just want to quickly go through them and we'll discuss which ones are chick flicks and which ones are not so that the community can understand. Mean Girls.
No.
Clueless.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of Clueless? The 90s classic?
You have? That's a shock, honestly.
I would say it's somewhere in the middle, but like maybe like I would say like a 4.
She's the Man, you said is not a chick flick?
It's borderline.
It's so funny.
I had to remember which one it was.
Okay, 13 going on 30.
Chick flick.
Chick flick, 8 out of 10.
Legally Blonde.
No. Borderline.
Honestly, out
5.
of all of these, this one
Borderline.
I would say I can confidently say is not a chick flick. Easy A.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Easy.
I love that movie.
I know.
Love that Miss
Good
Dunn.
movie, yeah.
A Walk to Remember. I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
Chick flick.
Walk to Remember. I haven't heard of it.
I know it.
Chick flick.
Book Smart, you said no.
No, that's just a great comedy.
Another good one. Pitch Perfect.
No, I don't think so.
That was a big hype
middle.
when it came out. That was a big movie.
That was a pretty popular movie.
It was.
I would give it like borderline. If anything.
Yeah, borderline, because I don't see guy like the Chads going to watch a musical.
I mean,
but they would go to see Anna Kendrick though. So
exactly. Okay, making this list has made me want to watch all of these movies again. Okay, so that's enough bullshitting. Let's get back to the podcast.
Someone's gonna get really mad at us about what our choices here.
Yeah, what do you guys think? If you're listening on Spotify, answer below. What do you guys qualify as a chick flick? Okay, or comment on our Instagram and tell us what you think. Because
or YouTube.
Or tweet at me. I will have a grand time.
Send you porn.
It's gonna start it's gonna be a flame war.
Yeah. That's my question of the day.
That's it for Beth's question of the day. We're gonna go on to Isaiah's facts.
All right, so starting with our facts today, we're gonna start with Kevin Smith and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh yeah, brother.
They visited the set of The Force Awakens a few times. Smith is infamous for his open and talkative nature, so he was forced to sign a non-disclosure agreement because apparently he's got loose lips.
So he's like Tom Holland.
Yes. So because of that, J.J. Abrams had World War II style propaganda posters put up called that said "Loose lips sink starships." So he had them hung around the set as a reminder to Smith specifically, not to reveal to not spoil the film. He didn't mention anything. The only tidbit that Smith revealed about was that he cried while he was there when he got to stand on the Millennium Falcon set because it reminded him of how much he loved Star Wars as a child. All right. George Lucas, while maintaining that he was at peace with relinquishing all of his material to Disney, admitted to having mixed feelings before seeing the film, likening the experience to attending an ex-wife's wedding.
Yikes.
Ooh.
That's not a good feeling.
That is not a good feeling, yeah.
No, he did, apparently after leaving the movies, there are a few quotes from him. He did not have good things to say. However, he did recant those statements afterwards, but if he left the theater and that was his first impression, but yeah, ex-wife's wedding, not a fun time. So now Poe Dameron is named after J.J. Abrams' assistant, Morgan Dameron, and Poe is possibly from his daughter having a toy polar bear named Poe, because as they were going through names, Poe came up, and he said it felt right, and he likened it that it might have been that's because he's familiar with the name because of his daughter.
Aw, that's kind of cute.
Actually, and Morgan Dameron does show up in the movie at some point. I believe she's like a fighter pilot or something like that somewhere. She's part of the Rebel Alliance. I know somewhere there.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So Captain Phasma is named after the 1979 movie The Phantasm because it features a giant silver sphere that bores holes into people.
She literally is the most she's like this generation of Boba Fett.
No,
I'm saying she's like this cool helmeted person. You're like, ooh, I want to know more about her, and then she just dies in a lame way.
They had set so much up in the fucking.
We don't need to talk about. We don't need to talk about.
We're not getting there yet. That's at the end of the podcast. Continue.
So so it's based off the Phantasm, which he was reminded by when he was looking at the costume designer Michael Kaplan. He had made the silver suit first, and then they were looking at names to name the character. And he looked at it, and it reminded him of the Phantasm. And he said, Phasma sounds really cool, so he named it that. So he named the character Phasma.
I feel like this movie's getting more disappointing by the second.
Damn. All right. Daisy Ridley and John Boyega were not allowed to tell about being cast until 3 months later. Boyega, however, immediately told a taxi driver as he was being taken away from the casting office.
Boyega. Oh, God.
Boyega.
Boyega.
Our boy Boyega.
Dois and Boyegas.
So Boyega got the job, immediately got in the taxi, and told the taxi driver. The taxi driver did not believe him because apparently he goes the way Boyega talked about it. There's a clip from the Graham Norton show that you can check out of him telling it. But basically, he goes that he sat in the taxi and he goes, "I just got casted in Star Wars," and the taxi driver just looks at him in the rearview. Okay, and then it kept going.
Imagine being that taxi driver now, and you're just like, "What the fuck?"
So Daisy Ridley eventually was able to tell her family after the 3 months. And her dad says, "Oh, I was always more of a Star Trek fan."
Oh, I heard about that one. Roasted.
Our next fact here is the symbols on the flags hanging outside Maz Kanata's castle include Boba Fett's Mythosar skull, Zero the Hutt's black sun tattoo, Hondo Onaka's pirate symbol, and several pod racer flags.
Yes.
The symbol, there's also a symbol of the 501st Legion on one of the flags, which is an internationally fan-based organization dedicated to the construction and wearing of screen-accurate replicas of Imperial Stormtrooper armor, Sith Lords, Clone Troopers, Bounty Hunters, and other villains from the Star Wars universe.
Yes.
So a little nod to
love it.
The ultimate fans. Now, people who could have played Rey include Billie Lourd, Carrie Fisher's daughter. She went on to play Lieutenant Connix instead in the movie.
Okay.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh.
I don't think I would have liked this movie had Jennifer Lawrence.
No, I would have loved it more if she was in it.
Sorry, not as Rey, but as another character.
Not as Rey, but in the movie, I would have been fine with that.
That too. Maybe if she was another character, but yeah, these are people who would have played Rey. Jennifer Lawrence as Rey, I don't think would have worked. Another one is Shailene Woodley.
Yeah, I could see that.
She went on to play in the Divergent series instead, which was universally destroyed by critics.
I honestly don't remember anything after the first movie.
Nobody did.
Yeah.
It literally went like the budget got smaller for every single movie because they were trying to make like 8 of them. And then they didn't even get to 8. I think they went to like 6. And then they said, hey, we're going to make the 6th one like a TV series movie because the budget is so small. And then they just cancel it.
It's because they tried to do it right after Hunger Games. Well, not right after, but, like after the huge wave of Hunger Games when everyone was obsessed with that. So they're like, ooh, let's do something of a similar concept, like similar style. We're making it like several movies taken from the books. And it just didn't work.
No, it did not work. Our last person is Saoirse Ronan.
I would have loved to see her as Rey.
Saoirse Ronan as Rey, who also auditioned for Wanda Maximoff.
What?
Yeah, but she was turned down for both roles.
Okay, I'm okay with that. But at the same time, that's a mixed feeling there.
Ironically, the last person who was offered the role is Elizabeth Olsen. She turned it down, though, due to already having a multi-movie contract with Marvel, and she didn't think she could dedicate herself to 2 franchises at the same time.
I don't blame her. So, she's under so much pressure. She's a hardworking girl.
That's like, my wife is under so much pressure.
I understand her.
I know everything.
Okay? We talk on a daily basis. I understand everything she's going through.
All right, let's get into people who could play Kylo Ren. And this is a weird one, all right?
Adam Driver.
Only Adam Driver.
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver's brother, Adam Driver. Adam Driver's father, Adam Driver. And Adam Driver's grandson, Adam Driver.
And his taxi driver, Adam.
That was so stupid. Why did that make me laugh so hard? That was so dumb. Continue.
All right. All right. People who could have played Kylo Ren include Michael Fassbender. Now, all right, keep in mind that the original concept for Kylo Ren was supposed to be like a grizzled, seasoned Jedi killer.
This hunk of an Irishman to play Kylo Ren. Got it.
All right. Our next person to play the older seasoned villain would have been Christoph Waltz, which, damn, I really wish they had gone with the grizzled like villain.
Who's
Because
Christoph Waltz?
Christoph Waltz probably would have. Christoph Waltz is he plays Hans Landar Hans from Inglourious Basterds.
Oh shit, Christoph
Waltz, yeah.
Fuck, that would have been great.
I know.
Is there another
love
movie
that
he's
man.
in that I would know?
I think you recognize his face.
Eddie Redmayne.
Who?
Eddie Redmayne, really?
Yeah. So basically, Eddie Redmayne auditioned, not realizing it was a role for a villain, and then started doing weird voices, and he blew the audition.
Oh, true.
Aw.
Basically, he started doing. Apparently, he's in a movie called Jupiter Ascending.
Oh,
The god awful.
Let's not talk about
Yeah,
it.
the god awful.
Channing Tatum movie.
Wachowski movie. Yeah. Apparently, he does a bunch of little weird voices in that movie, and I guess he was kind of doing a similar thing in the audition, and it kind of blew it.
I
So
could see him replacing the actor for Huxley, if anything.
I'm the spy.
I'm the spy. Our last guy is Hugo Weaving, which I think would have probably been really good as the grizzled one. Beth, do you not know who Hugo Weaving is?
Nope.
Oh my god. He's Mr. Smith from The Matrix. Wait, you've never seen The Matrix?
Holy!
She's never seen any movie.
Oh, he's from Lord of the Rings, dude.
Oh yeah, I forgot that too. I've never seen Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
Agent
yeah.
Smith?
He's also Red Skull. Duh. I didn't know his name though.
Yeah, I didn't recognize his name.
Yeah, love Hugo Weaving. Amazing guy. Those are the people who play Kylo Ren. Now, they're Michael B. Jordan and Dev Patel also auditioned for roles in the movie. There was never any confirmation of what they auditioned for. They do suspect that both Dev Patel and Michael B. Jordan would have been for like Finn or Poe. So it would have probably been one of the two leading characters.
Wait, let me go back to one thing. You've never watched The Matrix? The entire, like, none of them?
I have no interest.
She's never
in
seen
it.
The Matrix. She doesn't like John Wick. She's not going to like The Matrix. I mean, The Matrix is an amazing movie, and for its time blew everybody's mind with the special effects and its concept of like we're living now, our reality is all a simulation, which has now been copied to death, I think. So the allure is probably lost on her now.
I'm sure if I watched it when it came out, it would have been different.
But she wasn't born.
Yeah.
All right, guys, and also if you're here for our last episode, we gave some stats on the Death Star and how much it would cost. We have some information on this on Starkiller on Starkiller Base.
Starkiller Base.
Yes. Now, yeah, the big boy. Now it was $852 quadrillion for building the original Death Star. All right, the original, the first one, the smallest one. All right. And that was just the steel. That wasn't labor. That wasn't getting all this stuff into space. That was just the amount of steel in 2012. And to remind people, Death Star 2 was 460% bigger. All right. Now, Starkiller Base. Now they considered it a small moon. Starkiller Base is an entire planet. All right. Now, according to the canon, Starkiller Base is a diameter of about 660 kilometers, which is verified by having a diameter roughly about 5.5 times that of the Death Star. All right.
Okay.
Keep that in mind. Yeah, with diameter, a first pass analysis would state that the Starkiller Base costs about $20.221 sextillion. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 zeros in. like eight groups of 3.
Jesus Christ. What the where are they getting this money? I want to know.
So, however, though the Death Star was constructed from nothing, Starkiller Base has an entire planet as its foundation.
That's fair.
So calculating the cost of Starkiller Base based on planetary volume is not appropriate. Instead, it would have to go through excavation of the equatorial trench wrapping around roughly 50% of the planet. It would be the majority of its construction. This trench is an approximate depth of 10% of the radius, about 33 kilometers, a width of approximately 25% of the radius, which is 82.5 kilometers. Thus, the excavated volume approximately, oh my god, 2.680 million kilometers cubed, by the way, to the third power. This leads to a cost of approximately $360 quintillion, which is still significantly more expensive than the Death Star, obviously.
That went all in one ear out the other. That was way too many numbers for me.
All right, so to dumb that down real quick,
Yes.
it's going to cost you about, I don't know, maybe 1,000 times the world's GPD over.
Okay.
And still get a few numbers in there.
Okay, that's fair.
So so you don't have enough money.
That's a shame. I really wanted my own Death Star.
I think what do you call it? You need about like 1,000 Jeff Bezos to get maybe half that number. If that, maybe, probably not even close. So yeah, that is our last fact. And to sum it up, you don't have enough money.
Well, now I'm sad. All right, so let's keep going. We got to talk about it now. We have to talk about episode 7.
Yay!
Woo! All right, so let's start with our favorite part. What's your overall opinion on the film?
I feel like I might be the odd one out, so I'll have everyone.
No, Isaiah, we want to hear
Go
yours first.
Yeah, you like it, don't you?
I do. I really do. I give it a 5 out of 5.
Give it a 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
I give it a 5 out of 5.
On what scale?
It's because it's episode 4 all over again.
Yeah, because I felt like it was a updated version for like art. Because I never saw the original in like all of its glory in the back in the day, right? So I never got the feel of like the like not the nostalgia, but like the idea of seeing something for the first time and being able to be like, holy crap, this is awesome.
That's fair.
So the feeling that everybody got back in 77, I think I got with The Force Awakens. So I felt like,
oh, I can agree on that.
So I feel like that getting that feeling was what made that, of being like, holy crap, this is my generation's original Star Wars. So that's why I gave it a 5 out of 5, because I was like, holy crap. I know it's like kind of the same story all over again, but the fact that it kind of did it in a way where I didn't kind of originally realize that, and it still felt great. Though it could, I will be honest, it could have done without the Disney quips and the Disney stupidity. Yeah, like it could have done without that, but like it's a Disney movie now. There's nothing I can do about the quips, and I will hate the quips for all of end of time. People stop putting in quips.
Yeah,
stop putting quips in your movie. But yeah, but I love the movie. I think it's great. So that's my opinion. 5 out of 5.
If I had to pick one out of the 3, this one would probably be the best one.
I would also agree with that as well.
I know how I felt when I first saw it, because I got caught up in that feeling of A New Hope and, oh my God, it's another Star Wars movie. I thought we were done, and da 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 da. And then looking back at it, it's like I'm a little more critical of it now. But I don't know. I guess I personally would give it like a 3.5 out of.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I would give it a 3.5. I actually liked Kylo's character when they weren't doing the super emo boy throughout the entire film. I liked him in the beginning, because when you first watched it, you're thinking like, man, this guy's a little bitch, and then you think about it afterwards, like, this is the only person we've ever seen in the entire franchise stop a blaster bolt in mid fucking air, twice, mind you, and also I think he's the only person who's ever just kind of stood up after being blasted by Chewie's bowcaster. So
that is true.
There are some impressive things.
That man is built different.
I also feel like he was the only character that really had a good story arc.
Yeah.
You know, where it was like you could kind of see, you have a man who's struggling with the light and the dark, and he progresses in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas like Rey is just all over the place, and you're just like, well, girl, what's going on with you?
I mean,
and then Finch just kind of there, and then Poe, no one fucking gives a shit about Poe, which I feel like Poe should have been more in the story.
Yeah,
because it thought like the way they set it up in 7, it seemed like he was going to be kind of a decent sized character, and then they kind of were just like, nope.
Yeah, he's the one who finds the map that would lead them to Luke, and they're calling him like the best starfighter, like the starfighter pilot in the galaxy and all this other shit. And then after that, it's just like, that's it. That's all he does.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. And he cares about his droid. That's about all you get out of him.
Other than that, I would say that they really fed a lot off of the whole A New Hope remake. vibe.
Yeah.
And obviously, yes, I also hate the quips.
So personally, I'm actually looking directly at my ticket from the opening night of Star Wars Episode 7 because I went with my sister and her at the time boyfriend. They're now married, but we all went opening night, and that like you guys both said, I was like not swept away, but I was like entranced by the like experience and the atmosphere because everyone's freaking out, Han Solo shows on the screen and everyone cheers and you're like, oh my God, like Isaiah
It's hot and chewy.
Yeah, like Isaiah said, it's like you're experiencing episode 4, but it's like a new episode and it's like for the first time for you. Like you feel like you're almost going back in time in a sense. And I liked that. And honestly, I didn't even realize it was like similar to episode 4 until way later on when I rewatched it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, this is a very similar storyline. And I don't really have a problem with it because I understand J.J. Abrams was probably trying to play it safe because you have the thing with Star Wars is I feel like out of all of the fan bases, I feel like Star Wars has the most controversial, volatile and aggressive fan base where it's like you have to do it this way or it's completely wrong. And I'm one of those people, but like I think he played it safe because he's like, well, we know that episode 4 did well. So let's just repeat it. New characters, slightly different. And I mean, it went pretty successfully. And I agree with Lewis. I think out of the 3 of the new trilogy, definitely my favorite one. It's definitely a movie I could put on in the background and still be like entertained by it and not be like, oh my God, I hate this movie. Like 8, but that's a different subject. I would give it maybe a 4 out of 5 because I'm a little more attached to it for sentimental reasons as well. So 4 out of 5 for me.
I think a big part of the movie was nostalgia. Normally, I cannot stand nostalgia of basically just because like that's I think a lot of a lot of Disney movies and a lot of other movies are banking on like the remakes of stuff especially is banking all on the popularity and the influence of the original movie or original piece of work. And so it's all about remember this when it was good. Our movie is going to be just as good. I guess the point is that like in The Force Awakens, you were kind of like going into it knowing that and like because you knew like you knew Han Solo and Chewie were coming back. You knew like obviously it's just like a continuation. So you knew things were going to happen that were going to reference the originals because it has characters from the originals and things make sense. And so the nostalgia normally would really put me down of like I can't stand it and I would probably have hated this movie had it not been the fact that it was actually connected to the originals because a lot of the like the remakes and stuff like that aren't connected to the originals. The only way they're connected is that it just shares the same name and they're just basically copying themselves and they just keep on referring to the better property where this one didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I felt like this one was all the annoying stuff that I usually would find super annoying and would hate it. They did it in a way where I was still okay with it. So I think that's why it also helped improve my liking of the movie.
Okay, so what would we change to make it better?
Writing.
So just everything, basically, is what you just said.
Chuck it into space. I think it was pretty good.
I mean, the quips, we would definitely remove the quips.
Always remove the quips.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if we didn't focus so much on A New Hope story and kind of gave it its own vibe that would kind of trigger some kind of special feeling for us.
Yeah.
Would be nice too. And then I think it doesn't have to do directly with this film. I think it has more to do with like the next series of films is not changing fucking directors.
Yes. Bill Kennedy.
I think I would agree with that. Keep the same. If you're going to do a trilogy, keep the same director. And if you are going to switch directors, make sure that
they were the plan.
Yeah, they're relatively on the same page in regards to the story because otherwise you get a shit show.
I think I'll get into this. We'll get into this more in the next episode. But a lot of it, I think, is that like the Star Wars episode, The Force Awakens, was made for the fans. We all know it was made for the fans. A lot of it is to pander to the fans. It is a Star Wars movie and made for Star Wars fans. So, which I think it kind of lost itself in the next one, which I'll get more into that when we get to the next episode. But just something to keep in mind that Force Awakens was made for the fans and is a big Star Wars movie for Star Wars people.
Yes, I agree. So thank you for listening, everyone, and staying up with us so late, even though you're probably listening to this not late at night. We hope you enjoyed this episode. So we are on pretty much every platform now. We're on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, everything. You can find us at Silver Screen Sips pretty much everywhere. Our Twitter is just Silver Screen Sip, right?
Yeah, no S.
Okay, no S at the end. We have a link tree, so you can get all of that info in one spot. If you go to our Instagram, it's in the bio. If you email us at silverscreensips@gmail.com with any questions or suggestions, we will feature you in the next episode. So be sure to send those in. We've actually gotten a couple in just recently, so we're stacking them up for the listeners episode. So if you have a movie suggestion you want us to review or critique or shit talk or support, send it. We will shout you out. And at the end of the episode, we will do a big tier rating on all of the suggestions. But yeah, give us a rating on Spotify, iTunes, and whatnot. And also get us to 100 followers. We have a few more weeks. So that is your job. You have homework. You have 3 weeks. It's due in 3 weeks.
Also, to add real quick that on the link tree, there's also a section there for you to email us. So you don't have to go anywhere else. Just literally open the link tree, click the button, and send us a message, whatever movie your recommendation or anything like that.
Yes, that too. We tested it out. It works. It's great. It's easy. Everything is in one place now, so you don't have to go across 15 fucking platforms. Go to one platform, and you'll find them all there. So yeah, we will see you guys in next week's episode where we'll talk about The Last Jedi. I have so much to say about this film, so it's gonna be a fun one.
Wee!
I don't know why you both went for the wheeze, but that's fine.
Okay.